Thinking about converting a camper van but not sure where to start? I've been through the process twice now and I'm here to share what's actually worth doing and what's not, so you can save time, money and hassle. So let's get into it.
Hello and welcome back to Wild Free Van C. If you're new to the channel, my name is Adam and today I'm going to talk about 3 things you should really consider before choosing which van you're going to convert. Now, if you're planning a van build, if you're halfway through your van build, or if you're just flicking through YouTube trying to get some inspiration of what van to go for, this video is going to be for you, because I'm wanting to save you money here. You don't want to get something that's going to cost you more in the long run, or something you wish you never bought in the first place. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to consider is which way are you going to finance getting this van. There are 2 options you can go down. Now, you can go down the finance route, get a van that's a bit newer, less miles on the clock, hopefully more reliable. They usually are. They're not always, but usually they are. But then you have to consider you've got monthly repayments you need to be keeping up with for a couple of years down the line. Is that something that you can afford with doing your van build as well? That's the route we went down last time when we did our last van conversion. It was only a few years old, the van. It had 40,000 miles on the clock, but in the whole 4 years we owned it, not one issue. We didn't have problems with it in the garage. We just made sure we kept up with the services every time we MOT'd it, and it ran like a dream. This time, when we decided to do up another van build, after spending 10 weeks in a transporter size van, I said I want space. I want to stand up. I want to be able to fit everything we need in it for the road. So we decided to start looking at high roof, long wheelbase, crafters, transporters, boxes, any type of van. I just wanted something I could stand up in. We came across this, thought, buzzing. We've got everything we want there. An extra long wheelbase, the longest vehicle you can get on a standard British car licence. So I thought, buzzing, we're winning here. The issue is, which brings me on to my second thing for you to think about when converting your camper van, is weight and size. Most vans are only rated to carry 3.5 ton. Now, with this van being an extra long wheelbase, we've got a lot of space to fill. We've got a king size bed, we've got the shower, we've got a cooker, we've even got the log burning in stove. But with having all these bits in it has made the van weigh a whopping 3.7 ton. Now, it's not ideal. We considered ripping it out, but even if we did rip it out and we start replacing some bits, it's a long wheelbase vehicle. Whatever we put in here is probably gonna still take us over the limit. Now we're in the process of getting our van up rated so we can then drive it legally on the road, because as it stands our insurance would probably be void if we had an accident until we get the suspension done, the shock absorbers, any other bits, and re-registered with the DVLA. Also, this process would require me to do a Cat C1 license, which, for anyone that doesn't know, a Cat C1 license allows you to drive anything larger than your standard van, up to 7.5 ton. Now, that being said, we're going to do it anyway. We're going to go down that route because we've only just got this van. We haven't done much travelling in it, and having a C1 license is probably more beneficial to me anyway. Ideally, it'd be something I'd not want to do, but I sort of have to do because considering the van build's done now. But if you're halfway through your van build and you're worried about weight, it might be worth just taking it to a weighing bridge just to get that peace of mind, so you know how much you've got to play with. Because like I said, the longer, the higher the van, the more stuff you can fit in it. Even when you've converted your van build, if it's 3.4 ton, once you pack your van ready to go on your travels, it's going to exceed that limit. And when researching about this, found that people can be made to strip their van and take things out of the van on the side of the road if it's deemed unsafe to drive on the road. So that is one thing to consider, which brings me on to my third and final thing for you to consider when converting a van or picking one, is decide where do you plan on using it most. We've met a few different people from all walks of life during our times travelling round. We found a lot of people tend to just visit campsites. They like the luxury of just going somewhere for a week, comfy, middle of nature, but they like to have their facilities. Now, if you're that kind of person, no judgment, but you're probably not going to need a shower inside your van. That is a lot of extra weight. If you're not going to use it, if you're going to places with facilities, make the best of them, seeing as you're paying for them, and save on weight if you can get away with not having a shower. I see a lot of people now got showers fitted to the outside of van, which is a great way of doing it. We did it ourselves. I had showers sometimes outside my transporter, but the only issue with that is if you're somewhere cold or it's raining, you'll be trying to shower out of a bucket inside your van. Again, no judgment there. It's something me and Nicole have done plenty of times, but like I say, if you can think about where you're going. Are you going to be using it in the summer holidays? Not going to be going away in winter. You might be able to save on a diesel heater. You might not need the heater. But if you can really decide where you're planning on going or what you're going to do in it, then that might save you a lot of time in the long run. And then you can design your whole van conversion of where you're going. Make it all about where you want to be, how you want to use it. If you're someone that just loves the ski seasons, then yeah, you're probably going to want to invest in a diesel heater. If you can think about what you're going to use, like for instance saving on storage space inside the van, getting a roof box and putting stuff on there, there's a good way of saving some space. So there are my 3 things for you to consider when choosing a van conversion or converting a van. Firstly, you want to decide if you're going to finance it or if you're going to save up and buy the van outright, get something a bit older, give it a bit of TLC, get on the road that way. And for you to really think about the weight and the size. If you're willing to live in your van like we are and get an extra long wheelbase, probably look down the route of going as thin as possible on any material that you're putting inside the van. Really decide what's worth putting in the van and what can you do without to really save on the weight, because once you've got a long wheelbase van you can't really do much about the size. Because of the size you're going to put more in it. And then thirdly but not lastly, really think about where you want to go and enjoy yourself. If you know where you're going to go, you know what you're going to need, and then you're going to really make the best of your travels. Because if you go planning for everything, that's when you can end up in a little situation like we are right now, where we've got that much stuff. We now need to uplift our van, make it safer to drive on the road. So hopefully when you're picking your next van or doing up your van conversion, and this video has helped you with anything that you've been struggling or thinking about. If you have enjoyed this video, give us a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.